Get the exterior of your home, get that garden, get that area outside that you love looking right with Six Flags Nursery.
Yep, they're located in Longwood. You can go to sixflagsmulch.com. Whether it's rocks, mulch, topsoil, pine straw, equipment like shovels, rakes, pitchforks, Roundup gloves, pruners, all that stuff. And they have water features, Aquascape water features. You can get 10% off if you mention Tom and Dan. Free delivery within 7 miles. It's sixflagsmulch.com. That's sixflagsmulch.com in Longwood.
Make sure you mention Tom and Dan for a 10% discount off that Aquascape water feature. It's Six Flags Nursery.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha's here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
Man, it is, there's a lot of bad. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bad happening here. Normally we would save like almost all of this for the Friday Free Show, but I don't think you can. We
were talking about it on the OG BDM show.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just let's do some housekeeping real quick. If you're not a BDM member, you're definitely going to want to sign up and be one because we had probably one of the best BDM shows we've had in an extremely long time. They're all good. Don't worry. They're all good. Some of them aren't. But this one is amazing, and it's with our good friend Jana Banana. You might have remembered her from her tenure on the Phillips File right here on Real Radio 104.1, which is now the Jim Colbert Show. That's Jimmy's spot now. But before that, there was a show called the Phillips File. And Jana was an intern and also, eventually worked her way into like a producing role on that show.
Yeah.
And then she kind of fell out of the limelight and resigned from that position, much like, you and I did. And now we had the opportunity to sit down and kind of catch up with her and see what's going on. So if you want to know, if you love Jana as much as we do, and I'm honestly
great person to talk to.
I don't think I know one person that does not like Jana Banana. But anyway, you can catch up with her by going to tomanddan.com, signing up to be a BDM, and checking out that show.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best shows we've done in a long time, just because
she's just a good human.
Yeah, and her story is unbelievable. So, it's a great show. Here's the thing, of all the bad that's happening today, was good. Like, that just maybe, I don't even care about the fact that I track doo-doo all throughout the studio.
Let's talk about that.
Everybody else cares.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I just went to our small... We have a small studio. We have a tiny little lobby. We have a tiny studio that we're in right now. We have a tiny little, headquarters office with all of our computers in there. And then we have a tiny bathroom. I just had to go in the bathroom and barf because the whole lobby smells like fresh, just come out dog poo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, buddy?
I don't
By the way, me and Butler were trying to gag down our lunch while Tom is just tracking it around the studio.
By the way, how was your maple turkey sandwich?
It was fine.
Yeah, not bad. Not good.
I apologize.
I had doo-doo particles in my nose.
It is hard to eat with a fresh diarrhea smell in there.
Well, it all started in the weekend, my birthday. We talked about it in the OG show, but
do you want to recap a little bit for those that are listening to ACT?
I had a plumbing backup. So my actual birthday was great because I just told my wife, I was like,
walk me through the Saturday. Saturday was your birthday.
Yeah, Saturday. So
you woke up.
You know what? It cursed.
You did get my text. He did reply to my birthday, and I went simple this time. Normally, I thought about writing something really heartfelt on Facebook because Andrea said, my wife asked me, she's like, are you going to do anything for Tom's birthday? And I said, well, he's not quite 40 yet. When you turn 40, yes, I'm going to buy you something extravagant like you did for me. You bought me a drone, which I flew 6 times. It's great. It's great, but I don't need a drone, but that was the purpose.
Kind of bought it with your own money because it's the company money, so it's really your own.
And it was also at a time when we didn't have a lot of money, and I'm like, this idiot! He's wasting our money! I didn't even want this! I flew it 3 times. Okay, drone.
Cool.
Here's video of me flying a drone. Oh, that's what everybody that has a drone, you know what you use it for? To video yourself standing there looking up at it and waving.
Also, look at my neighborhood from the sky. Cool. I can see this on Google Earth.
But anyway, so I was going to write something really heartfelt on Facebook and talk about, the love that I have for you as a friend and how much I value you. And I said, he doesn't like that. I'm just going to do what he likes. I'm going to do a simple, no punctuation, no capitalization, happy birthday. And you know what? It worked. I wrote a no punctuation, no capitalization, happy birthday to you, and I instantly got a reply. Thanks, dude. And I'm like, hey. Well, did you use any caps or punctuation?
I said, happy birthday, boss. Nothing.
Did you put an exclamation point
I
on
did.
it?
Was it in the group
I did.
text?
He didn't like
No,
that.
I sent it on your Facebook because I was still,
my
there's
face.
no
I was
count.
still awake at that time, and I was like, "Oh, it's Tom's." I got the
Yeah.
Facebook notification.
Butler did one
and
in
I'm
our
like,
group
oh.
chat, but
Did
Tom
he?
didn't say anything to it. But
Yeah.
he's not going to.
I saw it.
That's a power play. He's got to keep the elevated status above his employees.
Yeah, and then
Honestly-
he makes him clean his doo doo.
Oh, by the way, Butler, how you doing on the doo-doo in there?
75% cleanup.
75%.
Yeah,
You-
tracked it all in there.
You owe that man.
So,
you owe that man.
I'll go over my birthday weekend.
Unless
So,
Butler actually checked the doo-doo, because he seemed really eager to clean that doo-doo. He's like, no, I got it.
no, it was on my. Unless he actually smushed the doo doo into my sandal as a
Right.
way to divert, blame from himself.
Yeah.
Like he took his shoe and
Like, God damn it, I stepped. He's scraping doo-doo. And then he's like, then you had your sandals off, which you're known to do
Yeah.
while you're at a business meeting, and then he walks
Yeah,
over and
that's
he
true.
shoves your shoe into
Yeah.
it.
So I'm the culprit.
You're the guy.
Anyway, actually, if I think about it, the curse started on my birthday, and when I woke up in the morning, like all I wanted to do, I told my wife, I was like,
want to do is scrap my boat.
I just want to go outside and tinker in my new boat, and then I want to detail it. Like I got the cleaners and the sponge and everything, and I'm going to detail my boat quietly. And if you watch the kids inside, that's what I wanted to
Leave
do.
me alone.
But it's well in the
Let me
morning.
be with my rags and silence.
We went to breakfast because my mom and sister and then my mother-in-law, they all wanted to go do something. So I was like, let's do something for breakfast.
Yeah, that's what old men do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do for your birthday? Let's go to breakfast. Cracker Barrel.
They
Early bird special.
I won't name the place, but it was by my house. We went there and like we had a table for 7, which was
Yeah.
like we went to a diner. So like they, there's not that many tables.
coffee cup.
No, I missed a coffee cup. So the
Egg sandwich.
We went there and they wrote us down, our names down, and we're sitting there. Now both boys are still sick. Like Max is still getting over his pneumonia.
Probably good to have him out and touching everything in the restaurant.
Tommy's got strep. Now I just learned that my niece, who was feeling bad that day, has now tested positive for the flu.
All right.
So
God.
so all these infectious kids, I'm bringing them out
no,
in the world.
my daughter got it.
coughing
today.
on
She
their
got-
yeah.
I just found out. I went home to check on her. Even though she got a flu shot, she has flu A.
Yeah. It's
Does she have
crazy.
flu? And yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, she's got the
But
flu.
I just thought she's fine.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
running around crazy. She don't even feel bad.
So they must have forgot our names on the list. So we were sitting there for like 45 minutes, and then my wife went up to the person, receptionist, whatever they call them.
party of AIDS.
And and she's like, oh yeah. She could tell. She's like, are you this person? And and Chris was like, no. And she's like, oh. And she like looks and like something went wrong, and she skipped over us, and then like filtered
No
through.
reservation, right? You just walked in and
Yeah,
asked for tables.
because
Okay.
it's
No plan vans.
It's
Yeah.
a diner, so it's a Saturday morning. Anyway, so then
These
something
things just happen. I mean, saying it's a diner, like you realize though that this happens to you a lot.
2 hours and 45 minutes we were there.
Whoa.
So we
That's
didn't
a
get
lot
out
of
of there
eggs.
till noon. I mean, literally, when we got out, I made the joke. I'm like, hey, where do you want to go for lunch? I'm making a dad joke. Because it was
Nailed
noon
it.
by the time. Anyway, so that was the first instance. Now then, I went to West Marine like an old man. I talked to an old man at West Marine, which is made my birthday because he started going through all the different settings of some depth finder I was
Oh,
looking
yeah,
at.
yeah.
And then
I thought you had a depth finder.
It's broken. Everything broken. So then,
Falconer.
and then
Everything on there's broken. My
then
God.
I asked him about cleaning. I'm like, what's the best for upholstery? Like, I'm talking to this old man. So now my birthday's kicked in. I'm talking to old man
You're
about
in full on vinyl upholstery
in
mode.
West Marine about how to clean upholstery.
Yeah.
So then I go home. I clean the boat the entire day. Actually, it was great and therapeutic because no headphones, nothing. Just slowly wiping the boat.
Yeah. Any drinks?
6 hours. No, but higher than Chong.
Okay, higher
like
than
double
Chong.
down on everything. Sativa.
I
heavy.
couldn't do that without a couple of
yeah.
cold beverages.
Yeah, it's Adderall and a bunch of THC, and so it would
Sounds
put
great.
you in the right
Sounds
mood.
great.
Then that night, Max comes running out and saying the toilet's bubbling, and we ran in there, and literally brown foamy diarrhea spraying out of the
What are you saying?
bathtub drain.
Do you have video of it? Did anybody video the diarrhea coming out?
No, because
what is your wife saying?
Because it was coming out of the toilet too, and I'm plunging it like frantically to try to keep it from
is everybody
overflowing.
screaming?
Yeah, I'm screaming. Well, Max and Tom here are like, yeah, man, it stinks, and I'm like, that doesn't help. And then,
Well, that's what I was just doing when you checked the doo-doo.
I know. So then I yelled at my wife. It's caught like the washing machine is draining, so that's causing the backup because
Yeah.
it's flooding.
Well,
the
a lot
pipes.
of people don't know you only have one pipe, and it goes to everything.
Yeah.
It's
Everything.
Yeah, and it comes and it goes.
Yeah.
So the same pipe that you flush your doo-doo down is the same pipe that you actually are delivered fresh, clean water.
So she runs out. She's like, I hit pause on because the damn.
It's
like,
not a VCR.
It's a
is
new
it?
one,
Oh.
but it's got like a digital screen. It's like a fancy washing machine. And then, so it can't be paused. So then I'm like plunging it and like, all right, it stopped. And then it started again
Oh, yeah.
because it's like on a 30-second pause. Or
Well,
whatever.
it's
And then
in control of you now.
the spray. I'm like, "Stop it!" Like, and then she had to go in and plug it, literally to stop it. So then the whole house stinks like sewage.
Right now?
No, that night because it filled my bathtub up. So then
There goes that birthday bubble bath.
the plumber comes. He's on the roof, snaking the thing. So he finally fixes it. Next morning, we wake up. Termites swarm in the office. There's a bunch of dead termites everywhere. She looks it up, and they must have swarmed out. And like,
yeah, you
so-
had this at one of your other houses.
yeah. They never swarmed though. They were about to. The guy put the
Yeah.
duct tape over the whole.
What if they like you're like you see you look in the windowsill and there's one termite that seems to be a little bit alive and he's like,
I knew I would find you.
you know what I
He
mean?
started talking to me like,
And he's like, he rememred you from the Heroin Alley house where he almost
And
swore.
then I freak out. I'm like, am I too high? Am I imagining this? Am I hallucinating? Yeah, that's whenever when an animal talks to you, you start thinking
Oh,
you got
yeah.
a brain tumor.
And
or
then
whatever.
you put your hand out. He crawls in your hand, and you go out, and you get him a tiny rag, and he wipes the boat with it. He's
my only friend.
buddy.
Aw.
Mighty. Little termitey.
They were attracted to these. I got an ant trap on my windowsill.
That's classy.
And they all died in there. They're like attracted to the whatever.
What are the
nectar,
ants doing? though?
Sweet nectar.
Where are the ants?
I don't know. Then
How many
Max-
different traps have you set in your whole house is a series of traps.
Max runs out again. He's like, it's happening again. The bubbling. I'm like, no! And then I'm plunging it. So this time, it's not coming out of the toilet. So I'm like, all right, good. And then it dawned on us. So like, oh,
It's coming out the ceiling fan.
check the master bath because we're completely redoing our master bathroom. So everything's down to the studs and there's just a hole on the floor where the toilet used to be, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And then we ran in there and the tile guy had tiled up, like it hasn't even grouted, hasn't even finished the tile. He's like, today he's doing the finishing
Oh,
cuts.
yeah,
Oh,
he
by the
is.
way, he was ecstatic that the whole room smelled like
Oh,
sewage.
yeah, I'm sure.
You're gonna be in for hours.
I put a fan in there last night. But
like a
it came-
little tiny oscillating fan.
it volcanoed out the doo-doo hole.
Did you at least like bleach in between the tile where the grout is supposed to
My
be?
wife handed me some old sheets, and I'm in there with a bandana over my
sheets
nose.
aren't gonna do it.
And I'm stepping on the sheets.
Wait, you're drying the doo-doo
Yeah.
by hand?
Yes.
No.
But I
It's
didn't know what
just
else to
gonna settle.
do.
No, this is a gasoline in the center of the house scenario. You just burn it down to start over.
And the plumber comes back. He has to like use the what is it called? The snake down the doo-doo hole there, and then he's out in the front. He's like, "Come here!" Like I come out.
here.
He's like, "Listen to it. We're
There's a
literally
termite with a tiny rag.
we're we're standing on my giant oak tree, and he's like, "It's under this." He's like, "You could feel it vibrating the tree."
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
No, because
way.
he turned it on vibrate, and the thing
There's
was
a vibrate button?
Yeah, well, so it can work its way through.
So basically,
You see what I mean? Like
I didn't know that was
well,
a thing.
it could get stuck,
It's
so
a
it
mach-
needs a way to.
it spins
Yeah.
its way. So anyway,
It's rooting up your
he
tree.
turned it on spin, and it was like vibrating the pipe underground.
Yeah.
And then he's like, feel the tree. It's like this thing goes right underneath this gigantic live oak.
That's insane.
Now we knew that from the like 6 years earlier. Remember, I had the doo-doo roots.
Yeah,
That they put a camera down there, and it was clean. Surprisingly enough,
Yeah.
but the guy said in 6 years maybe a root grew underneath and is like crimping the pipe. because he didn't pull out any roots. He's like, I don't know what the blockage was, but your pipe may be crimped, and you're gonna you need a camera to
So
go
he
in
couldn't
there.
go any further?
No, he went
in the
all the way to
tree?
the street.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
he's like, if it's crimped a little bit, then
builds up pressure.
then it could
yeah.
build up like a toilet paper or my wife's
I'm sorry?
my wife's white cigars. Get in there.
Vampire cigars get caught in there.
So anyway,
I thought she swore off the,
So then I woke up this morning. I drive here. My clutch, I push it in to literally turn into Baldwin Park, and then my clutch doesn't come back out. It just like, it just stuck down, and then I tried to pull, and when I pulled it out, then it just does nothing.
That's good.
So I parked in the thing, had the tow truck from that whole thing. I
You had
must
to
have
walk
walked in
back.
doo-doo,
Yeah.
and then I stomped doo-doo all over the entire...
Which, by the way,
The studio.
Jana had to probably smell that
Yeah.
the entire
Oh,
interview.
Yeah. She was wheeling all over it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's now we have to burn her studio down.
The only good part of this past couple days is watching Butler clean up the dog doo and gag on his hands and knees. That actually was a bright
Hey,
spot.
Butler, how's it smelling out there, man? Yeah.
Then Daniel started gagging
Well, it's bad. I don't like. I
because
feel.
he brushed up the particles.
Yeah,
and
stirred it up.
Well, no, but like, is it wet? Like, what are we dealing with out there? Is it going to ruin our carpet? Like, what am I going to? I don't want to walk back out there and even look at it.
I know. Yeah. It's doo-doo
I feel-
everywhere. I stomped. I did my.
Did you say it's doo doo forever? Is that the name of your Wu Tang album?
Well, as I was
Do forever.
talking, and I'm sure you guys listen to me tell
You like
Jana
to pace and talk.
about all my business
That's how you
ideas.
can make money. What you got to do is get a bunch of doo doo on your foot and walk in circles around a lady in a wheelchair. Great job, Tom.
So I paced back and forth.
Yeah, just
telling,
rubbing it in.
telling my business ideas to Jana, stomping doo doo everywhere. While she tried to back out of here,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, I actually went over to my house.
My wife tells
checked-
me, she's like, no one wants to hear your long goddamn stories.
Especially now when there's doo-doo particles around them.
She probably was like,
well, she's closer to the ground. I mean, like, so she wasn't not smelling it.
yeah, she's like, God, this girl was in the studio.
I went and checked on my Jason.
God
We
damn
saw
it.
Jana's husband, Jason. He said Tom will still be telling the story when you get back as a joke. I got back. Tom was still telling the story, and they were talking. I went home, checked on my daughter who's sick,
Yeah,
came back
yeah.
on the scooter. You guys are still talking.
Yeah.
They walk out. I walk back out there, and now the whole studio. I have to stay right here because it smells good right here. Out there, I can't go back out there.
Yeah, it's God damn it.
Well, I'm sorry. Happy
Rough.
birthday. What are you, 38?
Yeah, 38.
38. Does it feel like? Is this where you thought you'd be?
Well, I got to tell you, the past 3 days have been
Pretty
rough.
bad.
So if this is
First thing he said to me when he got in the car was, he's like, "Goddamn birthday," and I'm like, "Is everything all right?" I've been having a rough. It's quiet in the car. I'm driving him here.
Right.
He's like, "It's been a rough go, buddy." That's it. That's the only thing he says, and I'm like, "God damn, this is not good. This is like." So how are we going to pull you out? of this?
by the way, the boat almost killed me
my
because
God.
I opened up the center hatch. And there's a bunch of old life jackets.
There's a booby trap in there.
I pull it all out. It's all dirty in there. You know what I'm saying in there, but it's huge. So
Oh my god! What'd you get down in there?
I
The
got
door
a
shut and you
I
chopped-
got a headlamp.
No!
And like a sponge, and I crawl. You remember that scene where Forrest Gump crawls into the
Yes.
Viet Cong hole?
Yeah, tunnel
And
rat.
So I crawled in there, so all you can see is my butt in the air inside the hole, and I die hard light a lighter to see. I'm like, God,
are
this
you
thing goes
doing?
far. And then
I could put a lot of trash in here.
I thought you had a headlamp on. What do you need a lighter for?
I crawled all the way in, and then I was
Smells like
scrubbing the
gasoline
end
in here.
and then my shoulders are wide. So there was a split second where I was like, "Oh, I'm stuck." But I'm like,
Oh, I'll make up for it now.
and I told my wife not to bother me, so I'm gonna be in there.
Yeah, Max comes out there to try and tell you that the dude is bubbling again, but he can't hear your muffled screams.
Yeah, I'm like, ah!
You're trapped in some sort of gasoline-soaked prison.
Then Crystal assumes that I went to the store to get the. She's like, meanwhile, I'm stuck in the goddamn boat.
But then no, but she
Tactful Hat
does.
did make a good point in the chat. He says this is where the Satan boat consumes you.
Yeah.
It almost ate you.
Okay, you're in the hatch, right? I could see her walking out and be like, "Well, that's weird. I don't want any leaves or anything to blow in there. I'll just shut that."
Yeah.
She shuts the hatch, thinking you're at
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
like
this is how
West
kids
Marine.
pass
That is
away
how
in
kids-
like
it's freezers.
wardrobes or freezers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I die, and then they're like, the new owner of the boat is like, something stinks. Look at this, something, the buoy stinks.
I mean, you do
my
have
dead corpse in there.
You do have the mentality of a kid who would die in a freezer.
Yeah.
Like,
then the new boater steals my Olakas. Like, oh, yeah, nice.
yeah, these are great sandals.
Anyway, so
Well, there you go. Happy birthday, buddy.
that was my first 3 days of being 38. And, by the way, the devil boat reference is my wife realized after we bought the boat that the boat number is FL666.
I saw it as soon as you posted the picture. I go,
maybe you wrote it. Yeah, you're the one that.
Well, no, it's the first thing I saw. Like, you can't. It's written.
Right.
Now, if I were you, though, I would peel off that number and I would get flame letters. Right? You got to play into it a little bit. Six. I would get you some
Flame 6.
You got to do the
Can you do novelties?
Yeah.
Flame 6?
As long as I think the rule is, I could be completely wrong on this. I'm talking out of my rear end, but I think as long as that it is visible and able to be determined that it is the actual
legible.
number, I think you're good to go.
Yeah. So I will do the 666 flame, and unless
You should
let's
name
see
your
how
boat
long.
Going to hell.
Let's see how long this curse lasts before I put any merit into the cursed boat. But my wife's full on in already. After I told her about the
Your
doo-doo
whole
sandal,
life is falling apart.
she said, this is just reinforcing her cockamamie.
It's bad.
No, I'm on board after this weekend. Hearing everything that's happened, the doo-doo tracks today, the clutch today. It's the devil boat. You gotta get rid of this
both
thing.
boys are sick. I mean, the orb has been. I don't know if it's the orb, but it does seem. So is that, you said everything on the boat's now broken? Is that?
Well, not everything, but just most of the
solid 75%.
Pushing all the buttons. I'm like, I hear nothing happening.
Yeah, there's no battery in here. Well, there's no engine. All right. Well,
I found this other compartment with. I was like, it's behind the. I didn't even realize. Like, holy crap, it's big down here, and that's because I wonder. I was like, where's the water pump, the bilge pump, and all this stuff? I looked around and couldn't find it. And there's a little hatch right where the outboard is. I opened it up, and it's deep. Like, you could actually fit a small baby in
The
there.
fact that you brought this to your home and you didn't inspect this boat until this weekend says
And the
volumes about what's
BDM
gonna
owned. I
happen.
trust all
Why?
BDMs because they
That's never gone wrong before.
trust all BDMs 100%.
I mean, I trusted one, and I'm pretty sure I took some ketamine. Because I was like,
You're seeing
I was like,
2D.
I don't think this is a standard Blue Meanie. I feel like you gave me something you stole from your wife, and I feel like she has like leukemia or something. This is not a pain pill.
What is
this is like medication for someone that has like
Dying
a
of
disease.
cancer.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
disease pill. I know that I've taken enough drugs to know the difference.
Yeah. I always trust BDMs. Anyway,
Oh, there you go. Well, you want
it must just be a random, rough couple days that I happened to lie on my birthday, right?
Yeah.
It's, things happen.
or a
whatever.
national orb
We
holiday
will
of some
see.
sort.
I look at it like, all right, I got all the bad out of the way. Now the rest of my life is good.
Yeah, you're done. So when are you taking the
Or day after day of money pit style.
I am seriously panicking inside.
When are
I
you
feel like
taking
it's all going to hell.
When are you taking the boat out?
Next week is my first weekend. I got the mechanic coming back on Wednesday. He's fixing some problems I broke. I was putting the trim tab down. I forgot I put the lock on the motor. There's like a thing that swivels down.
Sure.
So I was like, and then it hit a stop, and I was like, what's wrong with it? And then I kept trying to force
Keep
it down.
mashing
it was like rocking the whole boat. And I'm like, well, I want to go down. It's down. And then the damn lock was on. I was like, oh. But I think I screwed
Stop taking so many Theragels before you start working on this.
That helps me.
I don't think
I'm better with it on. I swear to you. I take the marijuana. I'm like, I can think clearly.
I can't stop.
I don't know. That's what I tell myself. Because I'm addicted. I say you can't be.
There it is. There it is.
For
I know
sure.
everybody said that.
I need it. I'm like,
marijuana
I'm like, I need it. You should see the money I spend. All right.
All right. Well, there you go.
Okay. There it is.
Okay, well, let's take a break. When we come back from the break, Samantha and I will tell you about our Valentine's Day.
I heard that Mark Maron even
wrote about it in his weekly newsletter. So, good job, Florida. Well done. We'll talk all about that and more when we return. You're listening to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan.
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're smack dab in the middle of talking about clones. I don't know how we got here, but Tom and I are convinced that the government has cloned a human and that it's roaming the planet, and I want to meet the clone.
Well, definitely in China or India, like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
or Russia.
You
where
need
the-
like a
you know.
little, it's got to be a little less cool, bro.
Yeah. Well, because they can do stuff
Yeah.
and not have to tell the public. There's no accountability. The government is extreme power. That kind of, you need that environment for them to do whatever they want. Because then you could execute anybody.
Or you're going to make some
spilling a
mistakes,
secret,
is what you're talking about, too.
Yeah, you keep stuff under wraps. Like, even the people know that they're oppressed, and they're not going to ask that many questions. You know?
Well, there's a
The United
reason-
States, we're too empowered. We're like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Get them.
Yeah, there's a reason that the, quote, body exhibit that toured the nation, that you could go and see the actual human
Yeah.
body, was all Chinese prisoners. Every single one.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. There's a looser rule.
Yeah, a little bit easier to get an exhibit of organs in China. So, what happened to Dolly the sheep?
Let's see.
Dead now. The sheep don't live. I mean, that was in
She did
2000.
pass away.
Oh, my God.
And that was the first cloned mammal. But then now we can easily.
They put her to sleep on Valentine's Day of 2003.
Why?
At the age of 6.
Yeah, because then they had a
says,
rule where they only let them live for a certain amount of time.
Well, poor
Seemed like a
thing.
waste.
There's no, but the fact
Like, if
that
I
they're
was a scientist, I'm like, you know how long it worked on them to put them to sleep?
no, but it's like Valentine's Day. They're like, today's the day. You couldn't wait till the day after. My God.
After Dolly gave birth to her lambs in September of 2000, it was discovered that she had become infected with the JSRV sheep retrovirus, which causes lung cancer in sheep.
Oh, my God.
In 2001, she was diagnosed with arthritis after farm staff noticed her walking stiffly.
Well,
They tried to
I
treat
walk
her
stiffly.
with
You gonna put me to sleep on
anti-inflammatory
Valentine's Day?
medication. And then in 2003, she developed a cough. A CT scan showed tumors growing in her lungs, and the decision was made to euthanize Dolly rather than risk her suffering.
You know, I always loved being
She
a clone.
had a lot of health issues.
I remember I used
Did
to.
you know why they named her Dolly?
Because I used to smoke every day outside.
Why?
Because her DNA came from a mammary gland cell. So they named her after Dolly Parton.
Really?
Yes.
I like that the scientist.
90s.
The 90s.
Super
wasn't- it-
horny
It was
scientist.
96.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It was the late 90s. They were like, hey, this we're using the cells from the mammogram.
Do you know what you call Dolly Parton doing the backstroke?
what?
Islands in the stream. That is what they are.
The
I was
scientist
going to
is
say
laughing right now.
breaststroke.
Oh, my dad was like, yeah. Oh, wait, it's like, yeah, I think it is Dolly Parton doing the.
No, breaststroke is
No, it's forward. Yeah, doing the backstroke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because it's,
I got it right. Thank you, Dad. That was free. I point to the sky like Babe Ruth.
Samantha, how dare you try to
Sorry.
correct our
You
dad
of all
jokes?
people. I'm
I
just
know
saying.
know dad
Yeah,
jokes.
I mean, Let's just say if he were alive,
She is in the National Museum of Scotland, though. Her body is there.
the National Museum of
And it's
Scotland.
One of the most
taxidermy?
popular exhibits.
Aw. I would go see that if I went to Scotland. I would go see Dolly the sheep and get my picture made in front of it.
So now it's what does it cost to clone your dog?
Didn't we look this up? It was like 5 G's, I
is it
I
think.
think it's going up though because people are doing it.
Well, yeah, rich people for sure. I think ever since what's her name,
Barbara Streisand?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 50,000.
Yeah,
It's
it's
50,000,
expensive, dude.
Yeah.
But
if
it
you're-
is down from 100,000 in 2008.
soon it will be cheap enough for the average Joe.
You
to
think you
do
just
it.
go up to Walmart and get a clone kit?
Yeah, or
Remember when
Probably your vet will just be able to do it, right?
Well, remember when drug testing your kids was like you'd have to send them to the doctor, and so now you can just like order it on
you
Amazon.
can go to Walgreens and grab one.
Yeah, you can just pick them up.
so. It would have to be like you love your dog. You send its blood into the cloning
Tom's
center,
Clone Center.
and they clone it and then keep the puppy right around the same time your dog is like an end of days type of deal. So like a year before, like if you're like, this is not gonna last long. Like with Lena, we knew like that she had about a year, so give or take. So at that time, then you clone Lena and they hold the puppy puppy. So then the day you go to the vet or whatever to put the dog asleep, the new
But
Lena
then you have a 1-year-old puppy.
gets delivered, but it's the same exact.
Well,
and
you
then-
don't want the same age because then you're just going to have to do this every day.
Well, I don't. Well, then,
Every
well, I
day
don't
you're
want the-
getting a new dog.
I
you
don't
know?
want to have the vet keep him for a year.
Well, I mean, maybe that.
I need
maybe
my
it's-
full money's worth.
Maybe it's a little more planned out like that. Like
you know,
again, I'm with
I'm
Samantha.
saying-
You don't want two mortgages here. It's not like it's
Yeah.
like the way your wife and Bart line up
Yeah.
selling your home and buying your new
I
home.
guess if you
gotta
know-
line it up right.
The thing is, like, you don't want to get into a situation
While you're
where you're like,
euthanizing Lena, you
Yeah.
have him go ahead and grow the
because
new one.
because if you
No,
know.
it'll take too long. It's got to be lined up better than that.
Because here's the problem, though. There's the morality comes in where if you know Lena 2 is like they've already. And
Wait
they-
a minute, that's your satanic boat.
And they give you the email. They're like, all right, Lena 2's ready. She's here. You know, so when it's time to put the
You're like, keep
original
her
Lena.
frozen. I'm almost done with Lena 1.
Well, because then you, in your mind you're like, well, this one's all his teeth are chattering, it's dragging his toes.
I
his
get
pain
that
pills.
way when I go to trade in a car. I'm like, I hate this car. The day before I loved it, but like now I'm
Yeah,
going to get
because
the
you
new
know-
one. I'm like,
yeah,
this
yeah.
thing sucks.
So then maybe Lena 1 goes prematurely because you want to get the new one.
Well, you're
Yeah,
starving
yeah.
her is what you're
So,
doing.
so then you're
You've been
like,
withholding food and water.
technically, we could probably wait this out like 3-4 more months, but let's just get it over with because the
Yeah,
other one's
I
just sitting
agree.
there waiting for me.
Maybe you get $5 off the new one if you bring in an old one. It's like a recycling program.
Well, that's ultimate sad that you bring in your old
have
arthritic
you looked
dog.
at how crazy Samantha looks at us now? Like
I don't even look at her eyes.
I think today of all days, she's been looking back and forth, and I just see her going like, "What the F is going? Oh, these guys are nuts."
I don't even look at her.
I
I
saw
just look at the
something
window.
on the Jeff Goldblum show about when
Oh, I thought you were going
someone's
to say the
dog,
Jeff Dunham show. and I'm
someone's
like,
dog passed away, and they took the dog's ashes and made it into a diamond. Have you guys heard about this?
yes,
I have heard that. Yep.
I'm surprised your wife didn't do that, Tom.
I don't think they had that. All we got is the paw print and the, you know what I'm saying, like the standard.
Yeah.
What's the standard?
like you get the they
Mark Merritt has a joke about that. That's fantastic about the paw print.
the paw print,
Do you remember that?
Christmas ornament, and then you do the ashes and the decorative box, which still sits on my dresser.
No,
with
no.
a
You want to go
picture.
spread them with me? I'll spread my dad's ashes. You spread Lena's.
Yeah.
All I heard was want to go spread him with me, and I passed out. And,
Damn
then and when it came to, the whole studio was shut down. Everyone was gone for the day.
It's super depressing because it's her box of ashes, her collar, and
my
then
No.
and then
She's trapped in
Derek
there.
Jennings' painting of her
I got
behind.
the painting for you. That's right.
and
I'm
then-
sorry I did that.
And then her paw print Christmas ornament, which I keep saying, shouldn't we just put this in the box, a Christmas ornament? No, it's.
Did you
here
hang
in
it on the
this
tree this year?
Memorial. No, it's sitting next to the dang ashes, and then I have to look at it every once in a while. I'm like, "What's this? Is depressing,
Put a
bro."
washcloth over it.
I know. I want to.
Yeah.
I mean, it stares at me when before I go into the bathroom. It knows.
I know what you're going to do in there, Lena. Lena's like,
I know what you're doing in there.
Yeah.
I remember I used to stand outside the door while you were doing that, and I'd snapping my teeth crazy.
Stop snapping your teeth. I can't
Can't
concentrate.
concentrate on the sex videos.
My dog does.
I'm trying to watch Nina North, and you're out there snapping it crazy.
I can hear your pain pill
My
chatter.
God. Hold on, I got to turn the sink on so I can finish.
Quit heavy breathing your
Good Lord.
cancer
Is that
out.
what you do when you're in the bathroom? You turn the sink on?
Yeah, you got to drown out the
I turn
noise.
the
Like,
sink
man,
on.
he's really washing his
I
hands.
turn the sink on, and the key is always turn the sink off, then flush, so it sounds like you're actually doing something. If you don't flush, they'll know.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
flush
yeah.
after you wash your hands? Gross.
No, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
in there
When
washing
you're
my
trying to-
hands.
when
I
you're
Sam.
know, but that's what I'm saying.
You're
It's
trying to
giving you
fake it.
away.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything in there. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Have you ever been doing that? Then and then gently looked up accidentally and catch your own eyes in the mirror and go, oh, and then stop.
No, never stop.
Oh, I did. All right, well, we got to go.
Well,
Yeah,
Move
I
on.
know how bad it is. I can fight through that easy.
Do you ever look at yourself in the eyeballs?
Me?
Either one of you.
Oh yeah, I do. When
that's what I have to do. I'm a
that's
psychopath.
That's the only way you can.
So you don't even look at the phone. You look at
No, look at
yourself.
myself.
You're like, there he is. No, there he is.
Remember when Tuttle told us
What?
he videotaped himself and then played the videotape and then did it to himself
Yeah, I
doing
do.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
I'm like, that's a great, that is psycho.
But we had to watch it upside down.
I'm like, that is, whoa.
Looked like he was blowing his nose.
All right. TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. We'd love for you to check it out. All kinds of good merch on there and everything. The Semantics 3-year is on February
29th. Leap Day, 2 p.m. Rock Pit Brewing.
Rock Pit Brewing.
Yes.
Great little brewery. We get some tasty beers and celebrate 3 years of independent podcasting for Sam's Podcast. Anything else to plug? Oh, sign up to be a BDM if you want to go to that BDM event. Now would be the time to sign up. It's TomandDan.com/registration. That'll get you right to the love meter, and you can opt in.
Yep, absolutely. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. What is the last time you guys have gone to or when is the last time? Like, maybe make this question a little more broad. When is the last time you guys have ever seen something that you'd never seen before, and you're like, oh my god, that should have been done all the time?
Like an invention?
I'm trying to broaden it so it doesn't necessarily have to be an invention. How about like something common sense, something small that you see somebody do and you're like, oh my god, why has that not been a thing?
Dan Stone being a BDM.
Oh, that's a good one. He is a BDM now, though. He actually activated his account. I saw it, and he's been using the hell out of it.
Well,
that guy's a chronic, man.
I will tell you, this situation happened to me, and happens a lot with my wife, where she proclaims that she has the greatest invention of all time, and that we need to work on this because it's a $1 million idea.
Wait a minute, that's what you do to us.
Yeah, I know. And then
you guys are meant for each other. I mean, that is
but they're
love.
all bad ideas.
No, but it doesn't matter. That's their love language, man. They love each other.
So then she tells me, and then I ruin it by saying,
You pick it apart.
For sure, that's already invented.
Well, you do that with me.
Yeah. And then it always is, and she always gets mad, and I get great enjoyment out of it. And the
It's kind of like pool burr with you.
And then Juan does it with you.
Yeah.
Like, I see you do it to me. I'll say something, and you be like, well, technically, that's not the papa. And then you say something, and Juan's like, well, technically, the papa. And I'm like, I'm sick of y'all.
No one likes to technically.
Killing my dreams.
I do it, and then Juan does it to me. I'm like, screw you, Juan. But I'm doing it because I get great enjoyment. Like, I love ruining people's dreams.
I personally saw this. I'd never seen this before. I will give this person a shout out. I'd never seen this before. This was at the bar at Hard Rock Live. Our friend LT, we were going to see Mark Maron. We're sitting at the old Hard Rock Live bar. I'd never seen this before, and the lady behind the counter that made my beer put on a fresh pair of black rubber gloves, and she went there and got the pint glass and poured it perfectly and set out all the beer and poured my wife's wine and everything, took the gloves off and threw them away. And I was like, ooh, I kind of like that. I kind of like the rubber gloves on the bartender.
But that's a lot of waste.
It is a lot of waste, but I liked it.
Why is she putting the rubber gloves on?
I don't know. Maybe because it's a tourist area. Maybe because there's flu season and people are sick crazy everywhere.
She could be a hypochondriac.
I don't know what it was, but I liked it. And it made me think, that is food service, right?
Yeah.
It just kind of makes sense to me. I don't know. I was put at ease.
I'm fine with it, but I would say leave the same gloves on.
A lot of waste. Well, I think she was, to her credit, she was leaving her shift. It was like her time to check out.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing the same gloves. She didn't change.
No, I didn't see her put them on. I did not see her put them on. So I'm assuming she had them on the whole time, but I kind of liked it.
Because I will tell you, when I worked at Substantial Subs in Miami, and...
are you going to talk about the vampire?
No, we put gloves on every single time we made a sandwich. They were like...
A lot of waste, right?
No, but they were like disposable, plastic, big, baggy clown gloves.
Well, only if you leave the sandwich making and then go to the register and come back. But if you're staying on the line, you don't change your gloves.
No, you don't have to. But usually how it worked is there was only a couple of us. One guy had no gloves. He was a register guy. And one guy was making the food. But when you were done making the subs, you took them off, threw them away. And then when someone new customer, you put them back on.
It's like a barber. It was like, the way I equated it was like a barber or a tattoo artist. That's how she was doing it. Yeah. And I kind of liked it. Like, I was like, that's common sense. That makes sense to me. And I know this is irrational. I know this is stupid. And I've never had one beer other than that one where somebody served it to me with rubber gloves. But for whatever reason, and it could all be fake, I instantly thought that beer was cleaner because I know. I'm just saying it made me happier for some dumb reason. And I'm like,
placebo.
That should be a thing.
Meanwhile, the lines, and I'm saying Hard Rock Live,
it could be anything.
I mean, they're a good corporation. They're but in a lot of bars, the gross gross stuff comes out of their draft lines. I'm sure Travis could tell you, like some dive bars, they won't clean their draft lines for a long time, and then they'll grow mold inside them and
They
stuff.
got to put vinegar through it like our ice machine. What's going on with the ice machine, by the way?
Well, now it's not an ice machine. Now it's a vinegar machine.
But by the way, the invention that my wife thought she thought of was, she was like, why? Because it was when Max was sick and coughing crazy with pneumonia. She's like, why don't they invent cough drops, but on a lollipop stick for kids? So they are eating a lollipop.
Have those,
I know they have that. Then she was like, that's brilliant. I'm like, they for sure have it. I've looked it up, and tons of companies, of course. So,
Was she heartbroken?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Well, she said this is a brilliant idea.
What you should have done, it's a great idea. Let's invest all of our money. That's what you should have done.
I think every single idea that's good has been thought of, and the internet has exposed that to the public, right?
You think so?
Have you ever thought of a really good idea that you know would be marketable and make you money, and then you looked it up and it's not a thing? I've not yet.
I mean, I have, but I will not tell you.
Sure.
It's now there are plenty of bad ideas
No,
that
I
are not a
haven't.
thing, and
No,
that's a thing.
I have not.
Yeah, I think it's just now there are probably new tech and stuff that we don't even know about that are emerging and stuff like that. But that kind of thing. I'm saying the tried and true, everyday good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think exists anymore. That doesn't exist.
Can we talk about another thing? This is tangent crazy, but hey, this is just how I'm feeling today. Kind of goes along. How do you feel about Band-Aid people?
What do you mean?
Everybody knows a Band-Aid person.
They explain to me. What do you mean?
A Band-Aid person is a person that will have, like, it's typically on their neck or maybe on their arm, and they wear a Band-Aid, and they wear a Band-Aid every day, and they'll wear it every day for the rest of their life. And they will always wear a Band-Aid.
Like a Nelly?
Like covering a mole.
No, they're
or
covering
something?
like a mole
Yeah.
or a blemish
I've
or something.
seen 'em. They're out there.
The Band-Aid people are out there, and when I see them, I automatically I'm like, what are you doing, Band-Aid?
So
person?
I didn't know this existed.
You've
So-
never seen the Band-Aid people,
No.
Butler? You ever seen the Band-Aid people?
No.
You've never seen the person that chronically wears a Band-Aid?
Yeah, I have.
But to hide something that's not an injury?
It's I don't know what's under there.
Like it, so they're wearing it to
Like
hide
a mole, like
A weird sore they've been
yeah,
picking
like a
at.
weird sore.
something. I know when you work at like
Sad old
PacSun,
people, maybe.
they make you put a Band-Aid over your
piercings, which is
piercings,
dumb.
PacSun does?
Yeah, which is grosser than the piercing, by the way.
I don't know if PacSun does, but I know of places
What, like
that would.
over your
You're folding my billabongs, and you got two Band-Aids over your ear holes. I'm like, that's gross. I'd rather you just have the plugs.
That's going away, though, right? Most people
Yeah,
don't care
I
about
would've-
that now.
I saw a porno one time where they stretch it out and they
What?
What?
the ear hole, the gauge, and they go right through the ear.
Send me a
yeah,
link
yeah.
for science.
Yeah, I'll send you one. I've seen that. There's a lot of words. Like Sam's just shaking her head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen the Band-Aid people. They wear, and it's usually on like their neck. And they just have like a little round, and they'll have it on there for years. And I'm like,
Is it like a skin tag they're trying to
Yeah,
hide?
probably.
I guess, but the way that I think about it is like, A, it's not that expensive to have that removed. Or B, you have a medical problem, you need to go get looked at, right?
Maybe they just can't afford
Put a
it, or
Band-Aid
they're
on there.
lazy. Although it seems more of a hassle to every morning put a Band-Aid on your neck than it is to schedule, some removal of.
It's a lot of Band-Aids. And what if you forget to buy them?
Yeah.
What do you use? A piece of tape, duct tape,
My
Stay in
wife,
your house.
sticker?
Crystal's been yelling at me to put a Band-Aid over my gross toe.
Well, you need to do
and
that.
she says that I'm creating a hostile work environment by
That is true. Yeah.
wearing sandals and
I
my
have a
gross
meeting.
toe.
Actually, we have to hurry.
You could just put shoes on.
and
I have to finish this segment because I have 2 meetings with 2 of our employees. We only have 2 about hostile work
How's
environment.
the flip-flops today? Doo-doo on the bottoms or
No,
what?
I had to super glue my
Thank
broken
God.
flip flops because the doo doo ones were still there, and I about put them back on and walked like that.
Why don't you clean them? You just put them in the dishwasher.
Give 'em a
the
bang.
doo doo flip flops?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Hose them down.
Yeah.
No, you put them in the dishwasher with nothing else, and you
That's
make sure
disgusting.
no,
Gross.
nothing else, and you heat dry
Never.
it.
You are
Kills
No,
everything.
my wife's not
You're
gonna
worse
let
than
me
the
know.
Band-Aid people.
You're gonna put doo doo shoes in your
Dishes?
Oh yeah, but put flu all over the plate and put it in there. That's fine.
Yeah.
But doo doo. Oh, you guys are a bunch of idiots. I'm surrounded by idiots.
You're getting real mad that you're doing something that nobody in society does.
That's how you clean it.
And everybody on Twitch will confirm that this is a
Guys.
crazy person's behavior.
There are more germs.
Doo-doo or no doo-doo?
There are more germs in your mouth right now than in the doo-doo.
I understand your science, and I agree with you, but I'm saying just the overall idea of putting doo-doo sandals in your
saying-
dishwasher
so you're
is
saying
gross.
The idea of this being gross is the idea of the lady wearing gloves is good to me.
Well, yes, although there is probably more science showing that wearing gloves keeps it more sanitized. And I understand that your science of like, hey, it heats up, there's fuel, like a flu virus and other
Fuel
gross-
would be good. It's just spraying gas all over the dishes.
But the idea of the water spraying the doo-doo off the sandals, falling, and then going in the drain,
Yeah.
there's just the fact that there's doo-doo in the place where your dishes are,
Yeah.
I think is overall more gross and
right, fair enough.
off-putting to everybody, than just hosing them off in the
I look at you
front
differently
yard.
now.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about the freezer? Put them in the freezer?
For what?
Still just as gross.
Stop
Don't
them
put
from
them in.
stinking. No, you put them in a
Don't even
Ziploc
take 'em
bag. You put them in a Ziploc bag first, so you put them in the freezer, and supposedly
There's
the
still
freezing
doo-doo on it, though.
takes the stink away.
Or I
the
could just
smell.
hose them off.
Yeah, I'm trying to give him something easy to do, though, because we all know he's not going to hose them off.
This seems way less easy. Like putting them in a Ziploc in a freezer, then I go.
What about wearing them in the shower with you and kind of just stomping around in the water?
All, like I said, more effort than I want to put into it. I'm just going to leave them in my garage for who knows how long. And then eventually I'll probably hose them off or slap them off. But I got like 3 different pairs of Olakais. The only problem is that 2 of them
Have been already compromised.
The middle flap came up. I thought I just super glued it down. Seems to be working.
Lifetime warranty on those, by the way.
Again, part of my laziness. I have to take a picture of them, put them in a box in the mail.
Put 'em in a box.
No. Just take a picture and they'll mail you a new pair. You don't have to mail them back.
Taking a picture, sending an email,
take a picture.
anything. Butler, you don't understand.
All right,
anything.
let's try and get him some new flip-flops sometime this week, guys. He needs help.
Yeah, I mean, there they are. If you want to take a picture,
I'm not touching them.
I cleaned up enough poo this week.
No, these are not the poo ones. These are the
There's
regular.
poo in there.
No, the
there's
poo ones
poo.
are the black ones.
Every pair of sandals you own has poo on them.
Yeah. Just from walking around.
Yeah.
And stepping in poo poo.
Yeah. Where are we at on the poo-poo gate? Is everything cleaned up good?
I believe so.
All right. Awesome.
I mean, there's still some.
Oh, there's definitely
There's
still some poo
residue.
around here.
Yeah, there's
But
residue.
it's cleaned up.
I think there's poo poo everywhere. If you
Well,
think about it.
then you shouldn't really worry about putting it in the dishwasher because it's everywhere.
No, you shouldn't. Like I said, the idea of it is fine, but science, and you like it will probably be sterile and everything, but
You just don't like the idea.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I get it. You want to do a couple voicemails before we get out of here, my friend? Real quick, I just need to double check something. Let's go here. Let's go there. Okay, here we go. Let's try. I think you guys will like this one.
Hey guys, it's Steve in Winter Park. I was just listening to ACT where you're talking about receipts and how certain companies will just force you to take a printed receipt, and then you've got companies like Home Depot where they offer to email you a receipt, but then they still print you a receipt. I'll tell you who has it right, and that is companies like Fresh Market, where you just enter your email one time, and then forever, as long as you use the same card that you used the time you entered your email, it will just always email you your receipt. You don't ever have to choose again, and it's fantastic.
I don't want that either.
Not a chance. Thanks.
Don't even email me the receipt.
Well, I guess if you wanted some sort of record to
I have that.
return something.
What my Apple I bought at Fresh Market? What am I returning?
My
I
bag.
know it's all absurd, but it's better than just auto printing a receipt that you just immediately punt into the garbage
Well, they should do
5 feet from
like
you.
the Wawa. Would you like a receipt? And you can say no if you don't want one.
Yeah.
Wawa has the absolute fastest payment. Like their whatever you call that, their what is that
Point
thing
of
called?
sale.
Yeah, POS or whatever you call it, which I always
It makes
laugh
me.
at.
It does make me mad that all stores don't have it because
It's
then I'm
so
like,
fast.
I'm like, the technology exists. Wawa's doing it,
Dude, I
You
put the
do
card
it.
in, and I put the card in, it's ding, and it's done.
Yeah.
It's almost too fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't even give me a chance to make a funny dad joke to the young teen behind the counter. You know, I mean, I got a reputation in this town to bring some smiles.
That does make me mad when I see other companies doing things super efficiently and then they have the technology available. They're like, why aren't everybody doing this? Like, this is a better way. And then for whatever reason, the other companies don't do it.
No.
I know there's a cost involved, but it's got to be, better for your customers because you're right. At Wawa, it's instant. And
it's so fast.
Other gas stations are slow, and then the receipt.
I don't like it. Does your Wawa use the microphone to call out the numbers, or do
At
they
the
just
gas pump?
Or do they just
for
call
the,
it out?
the food?
Yeah, they do it over the gas pump. I was pumping gas today, and they were like, number 23.
Yeah,
you're right.
they don't do that in mine.
It depends.
If you're standing there, they'll just
They'll yell it out.
Yeah.
I want the microphone every time. It's kind of like when I used to go to Bojangles, whether I wanted it or not. The teen behind the counter had the microphone on it was on a gooseneck. Like that. Ooh, bring that over. I can do the impression of it. Hand me that, butler. Hand me that gooseneck microphone. Just it'll stretch. And then they'd have the microphone, and then they'd bend it, and you could hear it bending on the microphone. So they would do the whole that's the yellow microphone. All right, this is great. Doing the theater of the mind here, and they'd do the whole thing. They'd be like, "Sorry, what do you want?" And I'd be like, "I'll get a Bowberry biscuit," and they'd be like, "Bowberry biscuit."
It's all loud and over.
I'd like a spicy. Yeah, let me get a spicy chicken biscuit. Spicy chicken. and then let me also get a. Andrea, what do you two Diet Cokes? 2 Diet Cokes. I love it.
Hey,
I love it, and I think that Bojangles had a rule where you had to do it.
Yeah.
Because they never not. It was almost like you will be fired if you don't use the gooseneck, Mike.
Zaxby's does that too, I feel like.
I love it. I just really like it. And when they don't do it, I'm like,
listen,
don't just 336. No, get on the gooseneck.
You could buy a Bluetooth speaker that sounds unbelievable for $1 at 7-Eleven that hooks up to your phone. We have the speaker technology to make whatever sound you're amplifying pretty clear. Like we do it. Like it exists. You're a giant corporation. Why does it have to sound like piercingly horrible and overmodulated to the point where you can't even understand it? Why? Just make the speakers better. Turn the volume down. You're screaming into it.
All you got to do is turn it down a little bit.
I mean, there's ways. I mean, you built this store. I understand that maybe the speaker system was built inside. You know, the mics attached to the wall, but it's not that expensive to replace the speakers. Just make it sound nicer, a little bit.
I'm with you.
No, okay.
I was driving. I'm with you 100%. I was driving down the road, and who was the tweet? Who was the person that put up the tweet of how every Arby's is staying in business? Have you seen that meme?
I'm not sure.
There was a meme that went out about Arby's, and they're like, as many Arby's as you see everywhere. And I've asked all of my friends, this is the meme. They're like, I've asked all of my friends, have you ever eaten Arby's? They all say no, and there's Arby's everywhere, and nobody eats it. So
I never
how
eat
does it stay in
Arby's.
business?
Every once in a while. It's good. I just hardly ever go there.
I mean,
It's a money laundering front. It has to be.
I think that's what people think, is that there's something nefarious going on.
Yeah, Mr. Arby, he knows. And,
Norm says it's expensive in the Twitch chat room.
It is a little expensive.
Is it?
Those curly fries are money, though.
I haven't
They're
been in.
good.
I haven't been in forever. Yeah, I like it when you get to the bottom though, and you start to get the crunchy curlies. Oh yeah, I can get down on some of those.
It's just one of those things where if you're in the mood for a roast beef sandwich,
I never get the roast beef sandwich. No.
What else do you get there?
Now they got like a brisket, which is really good.
Again, even with the brisket, there's really good quality barbecue restaurants, and there's delis.
But it's not
and
fast food.
It isn't.
If I'm in,
I can't go to a Pavka.
No, I know.
I'm
but
driving
it's
up to
like,
Porky's to get my brisket. But I wish.
Like you're in the mood for brisket, and you're going to
they got
hit up
gyros.
Arby's.
They got chicken sandwiches.
They got those onion buns, too.
Popcorn chicken.
Oh, the onion bun. I thought you.
They have sliders.
I'm sorry, my
now.
wife calls me onion buns.
Their chicken tenders are good. I just never go there.
Yeah, I don't.
No
go
one,
there
no one does. It's a money
Jamocha
laundering
shake.
There's one right down the street.
Jamocha shake.
Let's go to Arby's this
potato
Friday.
cakes. We
Instead
just-
of pizza party, Arby's party.
Arby's Friday. All right, this Friday is Arby's Friday.
And
We're going.
And aren't some like
Big Montanas for everybody.
fast food restaurants shutting down? Like
Yeah.
fast food industries,
They're getting hurt.
not doing too well because
a lot of going
of
bankrupt.
health.
Yeah.
People eating healthier.
Speaking of bankrupt, Boy Scouts bankrupt.
oh really?
They filed for bankruptcy
Yeah, I saw
this
that.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah, which doesn't mean they're going away. There's
No.
plenty of companies file for bankruptcy and then just reorganize and
Trying to shave their debt.
But it does mean the times are changing and like people there's so many different ways of like summer camps and like it seems like most companies have summer camps and different like because that's all Boy Scouts is essentially is like a glorified summer camp or like a daycare or like something where you send
They
your
teach
kid.
them skills.
I know, but I mean, it's and like all these other like you can go to the science center, and do their like summer camp and like
Yeah, but that's not. They're not real. It's like arts and crafts.
Yeah,
They're not really teaching them anything.
But I bet you there's probably a ton of like outdoor summer camp style things like the Boy Scouts that don't have the stigma. Like the Boy Scouts screwed themselves with their brand when they went all anti-gay and like they thought that our core audience like no like everybody attacked them and they're like but sorry and then they retracted. Didn't they like retract their like we allow
A lot of people are doing that.
Like,
Methodist Church is going through it right now.
Yeah, they retracted and then they allowed all the girls to be in there too. So it's like
And then they're
Scouts of
over-
America.
But then you made people mad doing that.
Yeah, because then they're hardcore, maybe
Well, and the Girl Scouts
religious.
were like,
and-
no, you can't do that.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
got
See,
mad.
You should have just gently walked into the ocean, never to be seen again.
Well, that's what companies are doing now, where like you're making a stance, then realizing you're taking a bunch of backlash, then freaking out, then taking the opposite stance because you're getting
Then
the
getting more backlash.
and then getting the backlash from the original people
then
that liked it.
bankruptcy, then reinvention,
Yeah.
then relaunch, then bankruptcy again,
Yeah.
then you're done.
Like,
right?
So
That's the cycle of life.
okay, was anybody?
We got to get out of here. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm so sorry. I know we've been tangent crazy. It's been fun today.
Well, we have a couple more segments later.
yeah.
We'll be back.
All right, we'll take a break. I want to talk to someone that's been in the Boy Scouts because I don't even know what like is this something.
Do we know any Eagle Scouts?
I was a Cub Scout. I quit the day you were becoming a Boy Scout.
My buddy Pudge is the Eagle Scout.
Of course, Pudge was.
I went to his Eagle Scout.
Pudge Eagle.
He got to Grand Eagle or something like that.
Well, hold on. That's
Hold on,
not.
what?
that's
Eagle
not-
Scout?
You're talking about Pudge of the Proud Boys.
Ah, seem like Boy Scout.
yeah, Proud Pudge.
Yeah. All right.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and with Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
I wrote something down. I want to read to you here for a second.
Oh, okay.
It is basically it's a letter, a declaration here. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. Here we go. Have you ever played the card game Tunk?
I learned Tunk in Miami Killian, and I think
Samantha, look up the game Tunk because I'll tell you, this is
My high
the
school.
weirdest
Okay.
thing. Okay, sometimes I just have a connection with someone, and then they say something, and then I freak out because I'm like, "How do you know that? Where did you learn that?" I was talking with my wife's mother. She was babysitting Maisie one night. It was the night we were going out, actually, to see Mark Maron with
Yeah.
Samantha. And we were just talking, we were reminiscing about DeLand High School. And she said, there were times when, after school, I would be, hanging out with some of the guys playing Tunk. And I go, I froze. And I'm like, you played Tunk? And she's like, yeah, I want to play. And we didn't have enough time. But like, I used to love playing Tunk. But I will say that it was like kind of the card game or the game that sort of the bad kids and the ne'er-do-wells, and it was a rough around the edges type of a thing.
Yeah.
But
like spades and Tunk and like I remember people gambling.
Yes. They outlawed it. They're like, you can't do this kind of a thing.
There was a group of kids in like my homeroom class that would play Tunk and then taught me how to play it. Now I don't know.
So
this
this
is
brought
like
me-
ninth grade.
Well, this kind of brought me to my wider topic that I wrote down to talk about, though, ago, but I was like, there were tons of these games and little things that we would do to pass time and have like camaraderie when we were in like middle school and high school that as soon as the principal, superintendent, teachers, pardon me, got wind of it, they would literally shut it down. Whether it was paper footballs, pencil breaks, finger breaks,
no fun in
tunk, and there's probably thousands of them. Did you find out what tunk is?
Yes, kind of a lot going on to describe it, but it says it's basically a combination of rummy and conquin, which I don't know what that is.
I remember there's an aspect of rummy in tonk.
Yes.
And it says it was popular with blues and jazz musicians in southern Louisiana in the 1930s.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's kind of where it started out. It's usually played for money wagered. Each player pays the stake to the winner of the hand. Games typically involve 2 to 4 players. Stakes may be any amount. Game consists of many hands. Players are dealt 5, 7, or 9 cards, depending on the number of players in turn. The dealer turns up the first of the undealt cards as the start of the discard pile. Some people may play that the dealer does not turn up the first card. The discard pile is started after the first player draws. The remaining undealt cards are set face down in a stack next to the discard pile.
It's kind of like Rook, too, right?
I don't know what that is
all those
either.
games are
I guess
sort
I
of the
didn't play a lot
same.
of card games.
Well, I mean, it was like if I hung out with like the baseball players or the football team, like I learned it. I learned it from black guys. I mean, it was like a black guy game.
Yeah, that's what I.
I mean, I think I could say that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
It's true. I mean, that's how I learned it.
In my homeroom class, a group of black kids taught me how to play it.
I still know the guy who taught me how to play it.
No, really?
And I don't know if he still lives in DeLand. We could probably look him up. Matez Hoskins. So I remember that guy. And he taught me how to play it. And I loved it. I thought it was so fun. But I also remember thinking that I was like, oh, this is just like... Because my mom and my dad were really into card games. We play Uno and stuff like that. But I remember playing Rook with my dad on camping trips. You talk about wanting an RV. Some of the best memories I have were sitting around with my dad outside, in the woods under the canopy with like like the hanging lights on the awning. And we were playing like Rook. And it was very much like that. So anyway, look, when Andrea's mom said she played that, I was like, holy crap, I played that. I love that game.
Well, if you think about it, when you go to school in high school, you're there from 7:30 to 2:30.
It's a long time, dude.
So now some of the kids, they go there. They're like, I'm here to learn, and they're there, and they got how many classes?
You're Tommies of the world.
Yeah. Tommy, Tommy Van, not me, not my dad, but the last one. TC3.
Yeah.
He's there to learn. He's there to behave.
He's the upgrade.
He, I don't know, how many classes do you go to in high school? Like, how many different...
I think we had 7.
Yeah, I think it was 7.
Yeah. It's like 7,
6 on some days, 7 most days, I think.
So there's a segment of the kids that are like, I'm here, I got 7 different classes. Each class, I'm here to learn math and history and home ec and all the other stuff. And then the others, including me, were like, I got a lot of time to waste. What are we going to
What are we going to
do?
Teach me some card games, friends.
I'm stuck here from 7:30 to 2:30 every day, and I have to be in this building. How are we going to have fun? Besides this learning and the classes and the books, I'm not interested in any of that.
Yeah.
I want to learn or just pass my time in any other way. Teach me graffiti, teach me tonk. That's what I learned. And I was bad at both of them.
And paint me like one of your French girls. You were making a grimace. Did you find something out about the game that did not...
I'm just trying to understand it.
I don't remember it being that complicated. Is it maybe when
complicated through instructions? You got to watch someone play.
I think that's what it is. Because reading it, you're like, it says if a player is dealt cards that give them a total points value of 50, they must declare this immediately. This is known as tonk, and it wins the hand immediately.
Yes.
Each card's like face cards, and other cards have the number values,
points.
And then there's a rummy aspect where you're putting cards together. There's once you get the hang of it, like 4 or 5 hands, you got it.
You got it.
It's like spades.
It's like where I played spades with D-Rug. Like we've all done that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of those fun.
I never played spades.
Oh God!
You incorporate gambling into it.
How did you grow up in Florida and not play any of the goofing off card games?
Rummy. We played
Rummy's for nerds.
Blackjack. We played.
Blackjack is good. Did any of you guys play strip poker?
Oh yeah.
when you were younger?
No.
Yeah.
Do you want to play now?
I played strip.
No, it's a joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll leave.
I played strip poker in college one time.
Did it go too far?
It went.
Sometimes it can go too far.
It went to. I mean,
I remember
at least
playing with-
all the tops were off.
I remember playing with my wife one time, and she chose to take off bottoms first. Hold on,
That's a bold move.
And I remember thinking, because we were sitting Indian style on the floor, and I'm like, this is weird. And I remember
Bottom first?
Yeah, bottom
All
first. And I
right.
remember thinking, I can't concentrate on my cards anymore.
Yeah, maybe it was a psychological
I'm
trick.
looking at a full house or a flush. Don't look at the flush. That'll get you into trouble. That's how you get cotton in your roots.
So
Is Butler laughing?
Yeah, he is.
Butler, you
Can't
should just
control
come in here to
himself.
laugh. It
did you
helps
ever
the show.
did you ever do like spin the bottle?
I did do spin the bottle.
I did it one time.
I don't
where-
think anybody wanted to spin the bottle with me because they're like, we don't want to kiss the short guy. You're like,
Yes,
you
I
know.
love that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like being truthful. You know, I mean, I wasn't exactly like if I walked over, I'm like, hey guys, what are you doing? They'd be like, we're doing nothing, absolutely nothing.
What's that bottle? I saw someone kissing.
I don't know. I dropped the bottle. It's just the spinning bottle down here. No kissing here.
Quick, he's coming.
Quick, take the bottle. Throw the bottle. Yeah. Hit him over the head with the bottle. Kill him.
Or 7 Minutes in Heaven.
gross.
You guys played that? I never played any of those kind of games.
7 minutes in heaven. That's a long time. If I kiss my wife for 7 minutes right now, I'd pass out. That's a long
Now
time.
you're a teen.
Throughout the 20 years of my
you do-
marriage, I haven't kissed my wife for 7 minutes total.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
then-
God.
And then as a teen, when you're doing 7 minutes in heaven and you're kissing, it's all tooth kissing. It's just like you hear it. It's like
Clinking.
you're just clanking
Yeah.
the whole time.
But I did.
Oh,
This,
Butler's cracking up. What did you do? You want get over there?
Oh, yeah.
Here,
Butler,
get over
he's
Mike.
done all the
Yeah,
stuff.
get over there.
Because Butler's a good-looking guy. I'm sure.
But he also does really dumb things.
Yeah. The dumb and good-looking set
Yeah.
yourself up for the ultimate experience. That also
I
aids.
did them all, buddy. I did them all.
You did them all.
Yeah.
7 minutes in heaven, the spin the bottle, the naked poker.
Naked. It's
Naked
what just
poker.
naked poker. That's aggressive. You got to win your clothes back.
Every once in a while, you'll stumble upon those pornos where you can tell it's a webcam setup, and then it was like, look at this. These people play strip poker, and it goes too far. And then they're banging in like a dirty living room.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this?
I'm like, God, there's
Why
still
is-
dominoes out on the party table.
blankets everywhere. The couch is brown. Anybody has a brown couch is gross, and a swinger. Only swingers have brown
I
couches.
have a beige couch. It's a chase too.
That's pre-brown.
You know why you get it brown.
But if you think about it,
You
like,
can't go brown twice. You know what I'm saying?
the 7 minutes in heaven is pretty rapey if you think about it, because you usually the crowd itself. How does it work?
No,
Like,
you go in the closet.
Yeah, but how do you pick the two people that go in there? Is it through a spinning?
It's a bottle
It
scenario.
might be a bottle scenario.
Is it a bottle?
You spin the bottle.
Butler, you did it.
And it
What
lands
is
on
that?
a guy, and then the guy that is picked has to spin it, and then it lands on a girl. And then they go in the closet,
Yeah.
and then you time them, and then you're like, yes, what do we hear? What do we hear? And then when they come out, you go,
But sometimes you're just standing there. I think this happened to me, and I stood there awkwardly, straight up like a soldier, because I was too afraid to like start
what's wrong?
making out with a stranger, and she
You
didn't make a
wanna-
move, so I just paralyzed in fear.
you want to clank teeth?
I never make the move.
Never made the move?
You know, still to this day, been married with my wife for 20 years. I'm frozen in fear in the bed next
What,
door.
she just licks your face like a dog.
No. I'm like, I never initiate because
I have to initiate.
for the fear of this is the wrong time. I can't pick up people's signals. I don't know what, like, does she want it? Does she not want it? Like,
She comes in, she's like, I'm so tired, I'm covered in vomit. And you're like, I think she's running.
I have no
No,
idea.
I think it's according to these rules, it's you pick two people randomly, like out of a hat or something. Everybody puts their name in. So what if that could get dangerous.
Yeah, well, because you're
Well,
putting
you put
two
a
people-
bunch of names in there. Like, so
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me, if the four of
Russian
us were
roulette,
playing,
yeah.
if the four of us were playing and I went to put my name in there, I'd write my name on a piece of paper, but I also write Samantha's name like 25 times and drop them all in there. See what I'm saying?
No, so
so I
you're
wouldn't have to make out with either of you two.
See, when I played it, I think, as a kid. I think I only took like a girlfriend in. I think, and it was like middle school. So like you're at a party or something like that, and be like, all right, you go 7 minutes in heaven, go in the closet or some.
There it is. That's why you don't invite him on the mic.
Thanks a lot, Baller.
God damn it.
But there's
Do adults play these games again? Like, that might be kind of fun,
if you got
right?
a brown couch.
Got a beige one.
How now, brown
I
couch?
have been to adult parties that people still do spin the bottle. I've seen it.
But if you're in
Yeah.
your 30s doing that, are you spinning a bottle of vitamins? Like, what are you spinning?
Well,
they're
I think
spinning,
you're doing
Crispy
it.
Boys.
All right.
You're doing it as an initiation to maybe something.
Yeah,
big or
they're
some
trying to
group
get
thing.
some. Yeah, trying to get girls flashing or some
Oh,
kind
because
of
as soon as
debauchery.
because there is a chance that
I
you
would-
light that fuse,
Yeah.
that goes to
Right.
Tom's. What is a hot wife lifestyle? What was it?
Yeah. Hot wife lifestyle. I used to do this a lot when I was in high school, where I try to get the it's funny because most of the girlfriends that we had that hung out with all of us, like they're now married to my friends. So it's like it's all the same people. Like all our friends' wives are the girls we also used to be friends with in the same
Ew.
group. So, but back then, before marriage, we used to try to get into situations of open nudity and
I was
party.
only at one party at your.
Rarely worked.
I was only at one party at your old house in Deltona.
Oh yeah,
Where all of your Miami friends were over.
I
And
tried
you
to-
tried to get everybody to get naked and like have an orgy, I guess.
Oh my god,
That was I went through this period of time where
It was weird.
I would get blacked out drunk, and I'd try to get everybody. I was trying to
you were trying to get
initiate-
everybody naked.
initiate the party, because in my mind we're like, we're all adults. Like, I own this house. Like, this is a weird thing. Like, now people who own houses have orgies, and
I don't think that's the way-
swinger parties.
Yeah,
So wouldn't initiating it be you starting it? So you'd just walk
Yeah,
around
but my
naked?
wife's not interested, and I,
Weren't you doing like flips in the pool nude?
well, there was a couple
Where
nudie
like he'd do
flips.
he'd do like a
Nudie
flip
flips.
and you'd see his butt and then like a tail. You know what that is.
Yeah. I wasn't the guy that got nude a lot. That was for the Wizard and my other friends,
Yeah.
Porno Joes. They would get nude all the time. I was pretty shy,
modest, yeah.
But when I got older and married, once I knew my life was over, I tried to get my friends' wives to get nude.
My God, sir.
They never did either, and they
No.
usually, but they
They'd
would.
usually end up laughing, and then your wife would just lead you to the bedroom to go to sleep.
Yeah. But they'd
Then you
spur-
pee the bed.
They would get great enjoyment of me trying, and they'd make fun of me the next day, and they'd take videos of me. It's the same thing that happens with the show.
Yeah, how do you like anybody here been to an orgy?
No. I've never been.
define orgy.
Like-
how many people?
More than three or more couples in the same room.
Yeah, but less than 75.
Yeah. With a little bit of light on it, because it can't be complete.
Can't be
3 or
dark.
more couples? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I don't think I have either.
I
think that in that days that ship is gone.
I've been in the same room as like a couple,
No, doesn't
but
count.
not
Well,
like
No, I mean like you walk in and people are doing things and they're
in like Seth's dojo room.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
the
a
pillow room.
Here's the thing. I'm looking forward to the second act in life, because right now it's never
I
going
don't
to
know.
happen.
I'm thinking about leaving it in out.
Because right now, all my friends, wives, and kids, and everybody's stressed out, and but then when everybody's kids leave, I feel like
hang out with couples that don't have kids.
this is
But they don't want him.
Yeah.
No.
And then I'm like, shut up.
No offense. I mean, I think you look great, but I'm just saying,
No,
they
yeah.
want a different vibe.
See, because I'm looking at the swingers I see on the internet and everything, like they're older and their kids are grown, and it's their third act in life, and now they dabble in some soft swinging because they're just bored, and they got they're looking at the ending, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna try something new, and then that's what I'm hoping for, that maybe in like 10 years, 15 years, I'll have that.
I feel what you think your
Swinger
wife
life.
will want that.
Yeah, because maybe she'll just like, I'll be dead soon. Might as well try. I'm hoping to wait
You'll
it
definitely
out.
stumble across this in the campgrounds.
Yeah, the RV, that boating.
you're definitely gonna find this.
Here's what
You
I
can
know
find
about.
it on the cruise.
No, but you're going to be
Trust
bringing
me.
your sons,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
dude.
You
I went
definitely
camping
can.
with my parents. There was no orgies. It was
you were a
usually
kid,
them.
you were
it
looking
was-
for it.
No,
I know.
It was usually them fighting.
Yeah, but you meet.
And I'm just eating a cold hot dog, looking at the ocean, sad.
But you meet the people. They're there with the kids too, but they haven't started the third act. But it's when all those kids
Third
leave.
act? You were saying second act.
What's
What's the third? Oh, you don't want to know what the
Well,
third act is.
First act is pre-kids. Second act is kids. Third act is post kids,
Empty nest.
and then the fourth act. You don't want to know. About
No, poor thing is bad, man.
But that's what I got.
I know for certain my wife will never let me second act, third act. There's no.
Well, maybe she just like because once you're
She's just no. She's
once
not
you're
gonna-
staring
Act
at
one,
death,
baby.
No.
you start you're like
I think she'd rather die than be in a
that's a possibility.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. I think she thinks that's gross.
Once you're like 50, you start like, well, I mean, how many good years? I got 20 good
But
years,
that's the
baby.
worst. That's the worst. I mean, when you're there, mentally you're ready for the orgy, but you look like no one should. Like,
That's the problem.
like you should. Your orgy time is 18 to 24.
Yeah, but your eyes are a little bit bad, and you're gonna need some drugs, and you got Viagra, so I think you're fine.
And
You
a
know,
lot
like-
of gray hair.
Yeah.
A lot of necklaces flopping.
It's not
a lot of
optimal.
necklaces flopping.
Like
Turquoise
everybody wants to race a Ferrari, but sometimes you gotta race a Honda.
An old saggy Honda. I mean, this Honda. I've never seen a Honda.
Exhaust pipe
You
is
ever seen a
dragging.
Honda with 4-foot mud flaps? I mean, they're dragging the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't go very fast, but you're still getting the idea of racing.
Did you even put air in the tires? They're just oozing down the road.
You're going as fast as possible. They're not going that fast, but you're
I've
older.
also-
it's fine.
I've also
Yeah, they're fun
never
to
seen a
drive.
Honda have to open its fuel tank, pop in a blue pill, close the fuel tank.
Yeah. Wait for it.
Yeah.
There it is. We got about 15
Hold on,
minutes.
while we wait, I'm going to go make a Mama Celeste pizza.
There's always hors d'oeuvres involved.
Yeah, there's always off-putting food that's there.
I smoked a butt.
Oh, before you come in here and, dabble, I got Publix hot and spicy chicken wings or 2 for 1. Well, that's going to be great.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
why don't you go use some cottonelles before I...
dripping in turquoise rings and
What kind of
robes.
haircut do you have now?
Oh, back to the
Mullet Bosom.
back to the
The Grandma Lee?
the
Gary Spivey?
the Pete Rose. Yeah. Straight Pete Rose.
Just give me the Pete Rose.
but it's gray Pete Rose.
Give me the gray Pete Rose. If you need me, I'll be over in the corner beating on a trash can.
Yeah, silk shirt. At that point, I'm an HGH and testosterone, so I got
Big rolling,
swollen
you get
red.
swollen punchers.
big Duke belly.
You
with abs
you
on the
look like
outside.
a human chocolate Easter bunny.
Like, oh my god, your blood pressure. I'm like, I know. I only got a little bit.
I'm like,
time.
holy crap, your teeth are fizzing like Alka-Seltzers.
So I'm big, but I'm not strong for whatever reason. I'm muscular, but
you're round. You're just swollen.
Yeah. And then I'm walking around.
You look like a pink Michelin man,
Yeah.
dripping in turquoise.
Yeah. And then I love my boating. Is
that
I got a little. Like,
Are you and your wife going to become those really, really, really sun-beaten brown people?
Yeah,
but she can't. She doesn't have that ability, right?
She gave me, and I still got it in my safe. I'll get it out. A golden propeller necklace.
Wait.
Pause.
God damn it.
Oh, so you've been keeping
What?
this golden nugget from us for how many years has this been waiting in the wings?
She got it for me.
You have a
My 10
redneck
years-
golden propeller necklace and
Yes.
you've never worn it?
Well, it's
You better
just-
wear this to the damn cruise.
Dude, you better. If you don't wear that this Friday, I'm gonna call your wife and.
It's just a charm. Like,
Oh, I'll get you a necklace.
Yeah,
I'll
you
get you a long necklace.
Oh,
I'm gonna get you that. I'm gonna get you a long No Limit Soldier necklace.
I think it's like
In fact, there will be no limit to how long this necklace is. It's a long.
it's a weird carat. It's like 14 carat.
14.1 carat.
It's like 14.
This is a 12.
Have you heard of that?
It's the finest in 12 karat gold.
I'm like, is that even a thing? What is there? It's a big gold propeller.
Are you gonna do it the first time you take your boat out? I want like the theme from Rambo to play.
I put it on like that.
Gently put your necklace on. Take your shirt off.
Yeah.
Your necklace is laying on your abs. You know. You put it. You're wearing Oakley blades.
Oh, and then the highway to the danger zone is definitely
We got to take a break. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and do some voicemails. You're listening to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha's here, and she has changed into her hoodie. What hoodie?
The old school, the original, the OG.
The
hoodie.
You've been really wearing out the OG
This
lately.
is my studio hoodie,
That's your
typically.
Yeah.
I leave it here.
My studio hoodie is a Atlanta Falcons hoodie, and I have a bone to pick with both you and Tom for taking photos of my desk, and then taking photos of Tom's desk, and then putting it as a poll up on the website as to like whose desk is messier, and I'm winning.
Oh, they're saying yours?
I'm winning.
How are you winning? My desk is garbage.
Mine's pretty
He's
bad.
becoming a little Tom Van in his
Proud of me, aren't you?
desk messiness.
I think I'm dying. I definitely do.
I almost got a fist bump.
Anyway, so we have two guests in the studio.
Yeah, this is a big deal, man.
And one of the guests, I think Danny was in here 2 months ago. I have no idea.
2 months ago.
2 months
like
ago.
a year ago?
Was it a year ago? But what, really?
It was like a year ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
Was it that long ago?
Oh, you are dying.
Oh, my God.
Are you being
Seriously?
I thought
You got to get out more, man.
I thought you were screwing around.
No, I thought it was like 2 to 3 months ago. A year ago?
I feel like that's
A lot of
way
life
off.
has
Have you
happened,
been
man.
on a blackout drunk for 8 months?
Yes.
That's probably true.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of forgetfulness I have, but I could have sworn it wasn't.
It's always a good.
year.
It's always really nice when we have these celebrities and friends of the show that come in, and it always makes me feel good when you don't remember them because that makes them feel good.
I remember them. The time
you were so memorable.
Do you remember when I
That
was
you
here?
thought it was 2 months ago.
Yeah, do you
You were
remember?
never here.
All right, you got it.
I know that
She was
because
here 20 years ago.
I'm
She
big-
just told you that.
anybody. I can't wait to talk to you, both you guys.
But we're gonna talk first.
But because anybody in our age demographic, I feel
Yes.
recognizes you guys because you guys were on TV
100%.
at a time that there was such a huge audience, like way bigger
Here's
than
a
anything
fun
nowadays.
fact: you guys were probably more yelled at by my father to turn off the TV. Put on Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair wrestling. Put on what else would he would have watched? The news, stuff like that. But you guys get the
that
hell
crap
off
off
the TV.
it.
Yeah, get that off here.
I'll plug it real
He
quick.
wasn't wrong.
I loved it, and I'd have to go back to his bedroom and watch TV, which is gross.
So Danny Tamborelli is here. Lori Beth Denberg is here. They're going to be at Dead Lizard Brewing
Yes, sir.
Saturday, the 22nd. You can get your tickets at nostalgiapersonified.com.
Yes.
We've
sir.
even streamlined that even easier
Okay.
in case people can't spell nostalgia or personified, which,
Yes.
Yeah, our listeners, that's Florida.
Given
Yeah,
the
yeah.
state, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. No,
you
bad
just
education.
you can just go to npshows.com.
Yeah. All right.
You're welcome, guys.
npshows.com. There you go.
Get your VIP tickets. That starts at 7. Regular show starts at 8. And I'm guessing the VIP tickets come with meet and greet with you guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
A little like a consensual tickle.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. All right. Don't threaten me with a good time.
And so I know last time, which apparently was a year ago, Danny was in here.
It might have been a little less than that, but
Okay.
I thought it was like a year.
Look, it's like around a year. It's okay. This is the problem with states that don't have 4 seasons, man.
I know, it's all the same.
This is a prime example. Like, I live in New York. I know exactly what's going on because the weather tells me so.
Yeah, you're right. It's always this, what else?
Last time I saw you, it had been cold 17 times, rained 132.
Yeah.
It was last March he was in.
Okay.
A year.
Almost a year,
God, it does not seem like that long. I
you
am
look
rocketing
you
towards
look exactly the same.
yeah, you. It's been 10 years of stress.
Well,
for
last
me.
time you were here, let's pick up from there. I mean, you were doing Nostalgia Personified, but it was like a Pete and Pete deal.
Yeah, it was a P&P version.
And tell us a little bit about like what you guys are doing now, because it seems like this thing's kind of spider webbing out a little
Well,
bit.
we've taken the same idea. It's the exact same idea.
I like
And
it.
we
That
just-
is
and
work.
we
That's
just-
what we do.
So what we did was we took a show that Lori Beth and I were on together, see? And then we used that as this is what it's going to be, see?
Yeah.
And then we show the clips and the videos from the shows that we were on together, and we make fun of each other. Or mostly Lori Beth makes fun of me because I'm going through a rough patch of puberty.
There you go.
So
He's going to come out of it any day.
Lori Beth,
What?
people may know you from All That. Also, Figure It Out. There was an All That reboot. I got a bunch of questions to ask you, but
All
my
right.
first question, and I talked to Danny about this last time he was here. Are you like, you know that like there were so many more people watching TV at the time that you were on it than like now? I feel like there's so much stuff
Yeah.
out there that there was entire generations of people that know you guys, and because there were just less shows out, and so more people are watching one show. Do you feel that in your everyday life, like so many more people recognize you guys walking around just because of that fame and the amount of people watching in the 90s?
Yeah, it is a strong concentration of 90s kids that come up. You know, you think back there and that's when, you know, you're watching Seinfeld and everyone talks about it the next day.
Yeah.
You know, they say, I watched you every Saturday. Now people are like, I saw that when my mom was driving me somewhere and I had her iPad.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's a lot more disjointed. So you do feel the kind of wave and the grouping of the 90s kids that, you know, every Saturday we watch Snick.
Yeah.
Boy, it's so deep rooted though. Like in someone like my wife, who like we were just talking, we were kind of reminiscing about Nickelodeon, and even something as simple as just the iconography that they use now, it being similar. Like I don't know, I'll see something like a rocket ship made out of clay, you know, and I'll be like, I saw that when I was. It's like it triggers things in my brain. It was. You're exactly right about how much more time I was kind of parked in front of that versus like my daughter does so many different. Like little things, you know, it's like it's almost too much. I feel like we got it good
We had just enough. We had a little bit of picking and choosing, but it wasn't like
I wasn't inundated with it. It was like a healthy
No.
dose of you guys, and then I played outside.
Well,
You know what
there's
I mean?
no
Like,
social media back then. The internet was a new little thingy.
Yeah.
So it was a different time.
Do you think it would have been harder for both of you guys to be like younger actors doing what you were doing if you had the same amount of criticism and trolls and S-lords that are floating around?
Oh,
in
yeah.
Social media complaints. What about even like the some of the skits on All That? Have you ever seen one that you're like, ooh,
that
we
doesn't
couldn't
hold up.
We couldn't
Or-
get
or
away
like
with that
in-
nowadays.
well-
like, even though it was a kid show, but like,
funny you should say that, Tom. If that is something you're interested in on Saturday night at Dead Lizard Brewing, we will be doing this show called Nostalgia Personified, where we show some old clips, and some of them are All That clips, which will be full sketches and things that may or may not be appropriate for people now, and then we call them out on it.
Yeah,
I like
we call
that.
it out.
I like that.
Because I was watching even like America's Funniest Home Videos from the 90s, like with my sons. They both love America's Funniest Home Videos,
What a
good family
nerd.
show. But I was seeing some clips that I was like, whoa, they would get a lot of flack if they showed that now. Like, you know, because it was just less.
Yeah.
It's a lot more easy to tweet America's Funniest Home Videos now from your couch if you see something that offends you or triggers you or like, oh, that's inappropriate, and then contact them directly. Back then, you'd have to write a letter to who, you'd have to find who to write the letter to, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to complain.
you
It's
just-
easier to complain.
To whom it may concern. I did not appreciate seeing that grandma's pantaloons.
Yeah, well, first you have to find a pen. You know, like I don't even have a pen. Like I have an Apple Pencil, but that's not going to do much.
I feel like if you had to, before you complained on the internet about anything or made a negative comment, if you had to fill out like a simple form or something, like there would be 80% less complaints. Like, that much, because people would go to start feeling like, I don't care.
You're right. We need a two-step
It's too easy.
authentication
Yeah.
process for
I think
trolling.
even if any troll was like, which of these boxes has a stop sign? I'm not that mad about it.
I can't even get that right when I need it. You know?
I know.
I'm like, which one is an overpass?
Recaptcha again.
Yeah, that'll keep me from gambling. My gambling website is like, which has a crosswalk? I'm like, I'll forget it.
There have been times when I'm doing that and I'm stoned and I look at it and I don't get it right, and then that little box comes up after too many tries that says, "Are you a robot?" And I'm like, I might be. Because I'm not getting this right.
And I want to talk to you about the reboot of all that, and when did that come about, and how did they contact you to be involved with that, and what was your feelings on it?
Somewhere over the last year when I started talking about it, and I didn't expect to be on it. And then they asked. Right now, so far, it's only been original cast members that have come to guest star and do stuff. But I figured that we would just, come on and pass the torch and like, hey, you're the new cast. Great to see you. And then starts the new theme song, whatever. But I opened the first script and there's a loud librarian, which is a character I used to do.
Yeah,
and,
I remember that.
And then it says I'm doing vital information. I'm like, what the f***? What? But that was actually really sweet. I just passed the torch on that to Reese Cadell, who's one of the new cast members. All the new kids are so good. They're so funny. They're so sweet. So far, I mean, I'm sure this business will ruin them. But.
Well, I was going to ask you guys about that, because we talked to Danny last time we was in about, there's that faux pas of being a child star. And if you think about it, though, it's probably percentage-wise about the same. Like, people are like, oh, this business will drive you crazy.
Sure.
And they show examples, and they're like, well, was it the business, or were they obviously like maybe imbalanced in some way to start with, and then the business is the catalyst to make it worse?
They only show the ones that are, if it bleeds, it leads.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because I would say we've met Danny multiple times. Our first time meeting you, but I watched a lot of video of interviews of you before you got here, and you come off awesome. And I'm like, well, these guys look. I know, right? But I was like, these guys look like they're completely normal human beings, with no, the regular problems that all of us have.
Yeah, and obviously you probably a lot of the co-stars you work with and stuff, and it didn't necessarily ruin them by being a child actor, right? Or what do you think that thing is that people look at to say like, this is going to ruin, like mainly the money or the fame?
It has to do with the parents. It has a lot to do with that.
All comes back to parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better step up my game.
Yeah, seriously.
Because I'm kind of bad at it.
You're a bad dad?
I'm not a good dad.
That's fine. I mean, that's
can leave it
middle of the
there.
road.
Do you have a world's best dad coffee cup?
No.
Okay. Well,
I did have one, but I threw it at my daughter.
She had
I wanted the blue one.
Yeah, that sucks.
You're right. A lot of it has to do with the parents and how well your parents can, keep you on track and not let you
that's
go crazy.
I think why Danny's so good, and I can let you speak to your own life. But his mom is awesome. His sisters were around. They knew to treat him just like the regular chump he is. And not be like, oh, Danny, let's do your hair before we,
Yeah, that's like
he's
the thing,
just a
right?
scummy kid and happened to be on TV.
Yeah.
All those things are true. 100% accurate.
When you guys do this tour, because obviously you go to a bunch of different breweries, which is brilliant, by the way. It's like a great, a smart way to find a venue that you know is going to be in most cities nowadays, and like in a venue that usually has a nice tap room.
It's
a good
also
area.
typically younger. You're hitting the right demo.
And then all
Not too young.
all the kids that come, the 90s kids, they're like, we can watch Nickelodeon and drink beer now. Like they're having a beer with Danny and LB, Lori Beth, and it's like, ooh, I'm grown up.
That's cool.
Is there
Had a beer with a loud librarian, dude.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Is the spectrum of the audience that shows up like really? There's a variety of people, or they all kind of fit into like an age range.
Is there a guy?
A lot of the audience is on the spectrum. There's not a lot of eye contact.
That's all right.
We have to be gentle. Hugging is optional.
Entirely accurate, but it is also partially true.
What is the strangest maybe request or strangest thing anybody's ever told you, good or bad, like on the tour?
On the tour specifically, well, Lori Beth and I get asked to do vital information all the time.
Yeah.
We don't really
do
care
not.
for it.
Yeah. I like how people just
Turn it on.
Do this.
I mean, that is but like we've done like conventions and stuff like that, and sometimes people who come to those shows are like autistic or on the spectrum, and they'll like ask you to repeat stuff a bunch, and I'll do it for them every time.
Or they're the ones
I'll do
that
it
come
every
up.
time because they also are genuinely asking and not being that dude.
You can tell them.
Hey man, I know who you were. That was pretty cool. Yo, can you do that thing that you used to do all the time? No, man.
They're also the people that come up and are like, the sketch you did on August 10th, 2094, 91, and they like know
There's a Tuesday.
the dialogue and all, and I'm like, I have no recollection of that, but I believe that you're right.
And they probably are.
100%.
Oh yeah.
I do like it how people expect you to remember things you've done like 20 years ago, or like a very specific, like, hey, what's that line from the thing? You're like, I don't know what I did yesterday.
Yeah,
like,
right.
you expect me to like remember 20 years ago?
Yeah, well, when I was I'm watching videos of you guys, and I'm digging in because I know you're coming in, and I think we even had the date wrong, which is my fault, but I did this weeks ago, so I'm forgetting what I even saw.
So did we just surprise you by showing up today?
We had no
we
idea
didn't.
you were coming. No, I'm kidding. But
Well, Danny was just here 2 weeks ago. So
that's what I thought.
It shouldn't be that much of a surprise.
the new show that you guys are doing now, I saw it and I go, I've seen that before, but I know I absolutely haven't because it's brand new.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Can you? Is it out? When does it explode onto or is it out now?
The Tonopah 5 thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we can talk about. I think it's a thing that we did, and I don't know where it's going to land, but it should land somewhere.
Yeah,
We're shopping it around.
that's what I figured, but I didn't know if it had landed yet, if you were
No, it
going to
hasn't landed yet.
self-roll it out.
We actually just finished shooting. A year later, we shot a little extra stuff, behind the scenes movie time, kids.
Nice.
And I really like it. Danny's really funny in it. It's also a little dramatic, but I think that's where we hung out. And that's where Danny kind of got the idea.
We should be doing a Nostalgia Personified.
To do this show, to do the Nostalgia Personified, because we just love hanging. I mean, I love this gentleman. I almost called you a man, and I couldn't do it.
I know.
I couldn't do it.
Okay.
No, because you're like my little brother.
She knows the size of my penis.
It's only goes to here.
Holy moly.
No, but he's like my little brother, and nothing happens on screen, but in the Tonopah 5, which is this digital series that we did.
Yeah, you can find the trailer on YouTube.
Yeah, Tonopah, Tonopah.
There you go.
And we played kind of love interests. Everything happened off camera, and I'm like, oh, I want it to be successful, but if we come back for a second season, I bet we have to kiss, and I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
Go on.
We'll use a lip double.
Yeah, right.
stunt
yeah.
lips,
So,
yeah.
but that's where I think we really hung out. That's the most time I think I've gotten to spend with you since we did Figure It Out.
I agreed. 100%.
So, and I think just how much we love each other and how much
we embody the sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
I
and
could see
chop
that.
busting the same way that
Yeah.
Mike and I do. It's
He's
so
only
very-
had little sisters his whole life.
right.
So
So
now,
now I have an older sister.
now he's got me as the older sister to give him the smackdown.
I love that.
I'm like, I've already listened to Tapestry by Carole King. I know who she is.
Carole King's pretty
Oh, I
dope.
love
She
that
is pretty
one.
dope.
Yeah,
No, it
she's
was
dope.
the Zappa. What's the song that
Oh,
we
you
had to
hate it.
play
Yeah.
in Palmdale?
Village of the Sun is a Frank Zappa song about Palmdale, California.
Yeah.
So when
It's a
we were
great
driving
song.
back from Tonopah, Nevada,
I'd
back
never
to
been
LA,
through there, so I felt I had to play it. And Lori Beth doesn't really know
You're not a
Frank
Zappa.
Zappa. She's not
You're
really a Zappa
gal?
fan.
Yeah.
It's a very polarizing
Yeah,
character.
Zappa is,
you know?
I
You
have
to
nothing
really
against
like
the
it.
man.
Yeah. Well, some of
Well,
it's
and then you listen to it and you're like,
some of it's like straight ahead music, and some of it is way out in the
bright,
moon.
weird,
you know? Yeah.
bright, weird
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
But he wanted to listen to the song. It was about Palmdale, and we're going through Palmdale, which for anyone in LA, you'll know what I say when we lost connectivity, so we couldn't hear the song. And I'm like, welcome to Palmdale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got hurt. So then she had to hear the beginning of that song like 17 times.
I'm so
all
sorry.
good. Then
Yeah,
we
so-
went down like a Weird Al rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You guys
That's what happens when we get in the car and we're listening to music
I
together.
like the Weird Al. I can take him in doses.
Yeah.
But after too many of them, I start to feel like I'm losing the grip on reality a little bit.
And when that happens, then you have to play Nature Trail to Hell, and that's how you close it out.
Okay.
And you guys said that I got pulled over by a cop on the way home from there? I don't remember that.
Were you drunk?
Yeah, you got pulled over.
No, I wasn't. I was talking
over?
to Brandon and the two guys that we drove home with, and they said,
Did you block it out?
I have no recollection. I'm sober. I've been sober a long time, so I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Lori, you brought up Figure It Out.
I did.
And that made me think, why isn't there, and maybe I'm not familiar with them and they exist, but there hasn't been a lot of kids game shows since like the 90s. I mean, I remember when I was watching TV, there was a lot of kids game
Tons.
shows, and now they don't produce them anymore. Is the demand
Well,
not there?
most of
Why?
them used to be
Weird.
based right out of here, like right up the road. We had like the Double Dare studio there, and then we had, I forget all the other stuff that we Legends of the Hidden
of the
Temple.
Kids are just less adventurous these days, guys.
Yeah.
They don't want to take as many chances or big risks.
I bet you he nailed it. I bet you the reason is that too many kids probably fell off some sort of thing, or a pooch will stick to the eye.
Something.
And
Really?
litigious society says that we're not allowed to have fun things.
So you think like just the corporations were like, this is too dangerous of activity, and that's why they stopped? You think?
'Cause
But
the
Figure It
real-
Out wasn't that.
My
was it
daughter-
dangerous?
No,
Like, why-
no. Figure It Out wasn't, but I'm saying that might be
Well.
less adventurous in general. But like, if
'Cause
you're talking
people-
about like, guts or doing anything that like required some physicality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
don't
see
know,
why.
There's so much red tape, man.
You're right.
And there's a market for it because Proofs and like my daughter will watch American Ninja Warrior Jr.
Right.
Oh, and that's exactly that.
And it's the same thing, but she'll watch it.
Yeah.
But it's like the only kid, and that's not even a game show, But I actually prefer her to watch something a little younger, because it's
Yeah.
a little old for her. She's only 4.
I just-
So
Oh, jeez.
maybe you and I should bring it back. We're
Well,
in
guys, we
Orlando.
lost a very important application this week in HQ. So maybe we should do a kids version of it and get the kids back into doing fun game show stuff.
Not a bad idea, man.
Tom and Dan present Lil HQ.
Lil HQ, which is a rapper, and we get sued, and then he ODs on a plane. That's what they all do.
And Lori Beth, I was reading about. Is it true that you just had a knack for Figure It Out, and that's why they wanted you? Or is that just
No, I was. I mean, they wanted.
Is that
me
your
no matter
superpower?
what.
Yeah, okay.
But I did end up having an act. The first time I ever figured it out, I remember it was this little boy, and his thing on the board was burps Christmas carols. Or can burp Christmas carols. And I figured it out. I was like, oh my God, I figured it out. And then I realized that meant the kid didn't win. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad. And then I told the producer, I'm like, I feel it was Kevin K. I go, I feel so bad. And he's like, well, you're here to figure it out. And I was like, all right, then here we go.
I'm going to do it now.
I was pretty serious. I did figure it out quite a bit. There was a Facebook group called Lori Beth Denberg Ruined My Life, which was based on me. And then there was this is the kind of thing that makes me feel like a true celebrity. There was a conspiracy theory that I was given all the answers.
Whoa.
And that I was
Like quiz show.
yeah, exactly. And that I was instructed to figure it out right before the end so that Nickelodeon didn't have to pay for the grand prize, and then I would get a kickback, which is so convoluted. And meanwhile, because of the quiz show incident, there's super strict rules and laws. So we were sequestered, doing the game show and all this kind of stuff. But I was like, yeah, I got a conspiracy theory.
That's pretty cool,
That is
though.
cool.
But that just shows you the impact that you guys have had.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
they're making a Facebook group about a game show that, honestly,
That's intense.
I think so.
Deep-seated.
I took
think
it.
so.
It was a huge source of pride for me.
Like, you guys are rooted in people's brains,
But
That's-
also, with Figure It Out, I can't remember. Was there a cash prize, or was there you win a kayak?
There was
Because
3 rounds. The first round prize was a piece of garbage they had hanging
Yeah, like a promo.
Piece of the aggro.
Yeah,
exactly.
We do joke around a lot about 90s
Here's
game
some
shows,
yak.
kid game show prizes,
Awesome.
because it's like, you've won a Monopoly board. And you're like, first of all, they gave you 10,000 Monopoly boards. Monopoly gave it to you and paid to give it to you.
Exactly.
Like, so they no one cares about giving it out. Also, it's a Monopoly board, and it's like $25.
I don't want that.
It was like, I had to drive here to the whole show for a Monopoly board.
Look, the guy who buys all those, the gifts for the kids and stuff. You're like, what is? Well, we bought 15 containers of British Night light up.
Yeah.
black and white.
Yes, British
black and white mid cut sneakers.
So that would be
Who
like the
wants them?
second prize, the second round prize. Then the third round prize. The third round
hungry?
prize, a little bit, was always a trip for their family somewhere.
Gotcha. Which was sponsored. A lot of people are like, even the radio stations.
Oh,
like,
everything is sponsored.
Like when a radio station gives out prizes, the actual company is paying the radio station and giving them the free prize. So it's like they're not out any money. Like all these TV shows.
There's a lot of holes in that conspiracy.
Like the tourism board for Cancun, Mexico, gifted Nickelodeon 25 trips to Cancun to the family resort, and paid them $10,000 for the advertising.
Exactly.
I was just like sitting here daydreaming and thinking how mad my dad would be if I went on a game show and I won a Monopoly board, and how he would hit me with it all the way home. That's all I got. Every couple of minutes, I just get cracked with a Monopoly board on the way back to DeLand.
Are also
not past go.
Our other favorite thing is on The Price is Right, when a person like an old granny wins a
something they can't use.
A jet ski.
Yes,
or like a wind surfboard. Like, you've won a wind surfboard. That almost like old granny.
Oh, that's lovely.
You are the oldest person to win The Price is Right.
The doctor said my new hip should be carefully cared for.
You've won an entire gym center in your basement.
You're gonna love your new skateboard ramp.
The biker wins the teapot kettles. Because it's just the advertisers are paying for the damn prizes you're giving away. Anyway,
we're gonna run out of time. We better plugs.
So
Plugs and plugs or sugs.
What?
Plugs and sugs.
Saturday, Lori Beth and Danny are going to be at Dead Lizard Brewing. VIP starts at 7. Get your tickets at nostalgiapersonified.com or NS.
Just NP shows.
Oh, NP.
NS.
I don't know why I said NS.
He's giving out the code. Oh my God, we're under attack.
NPshows.com. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah,
in.
hey, thanks so much. A pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you. Sorry, Danny. I feel like I talked too much.
No. I was in
we
here
talked
just
to him
last
all the
week.
We're talking to him. Literally, I think it was yesterday.
I just stopped trying to use our bathroom because it's clean.
We should gaslight him and come back tomorrow and be like, they haven't been here.
It wouldn't work. Gaslighting doesn't work with him. He's too stupid.
Wow.
You have to have it. You gave it. I'm like, well,
You have to be aware for it to work. I mean,
That's why Tom goes to NPshows.
all right, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Guys, we'll see you tomorrow.